Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Muhammad Mudassar Shehzad from University of Education. Today, we are going towards the next lecture of evolution and principles of systematics, that is, modern theories of synthetic evolution. There are total four theories of evolution, in which number one is Lamarckism, or theory of inheritance of acquired characters. That theory was presented by Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck in 1909 AD. इसने एक बुक पब्लिश की थी जिसका नाम फिलोसोफिक जोलॉजिक था। इसके अंदर इसने अपनी जो थ्योरी थी बेटा बेसिकली ये पब्लिश की थी। Dear students, Lamarck raised the four different points related to his theory, in which number one was organisms tend to increase in size and complexity with time to time in their body. Number two, organisms are able to make the changes in their body as environment changes. Number third was organisms can develop their organs and change their efficiency by using or disusing the organs. And the last one, Lamarck also discussed about the observable characters acquired by the parents during their lifetime. Here in these two pictures, you can easily observe the concept of Lamarck. Lamarck ने बेटा बेसिकली ये कहा था कि जिस ऑर्गन को यूज करेंगे वो ऑर्गन जो है उसकी लेंथ भी इन्हांस हो सकती है, उसके काम जो है वो भी इंक्रीज कर सकता है, लेकिन वो वाले ऑर्गन जिनको यूज नहीं करेंगे उनकी जो ऑप्टिमाइजेशन है वो कम हो सकती है। जिस तरह के आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, अगर हमारे पास व्हेल है तो व्हेल के अंदर यहाँ पे उसके इंटरनल हैंड लिम्स मौजूद होते हैं, लेकिन काम न करने की बदौलत या उनको यूज न करने की बदौलत वो मुकम्मल तौर पर डिसफंक्शनल हो जाते हैं। इसी तरह यहाँ पे इंसान की अपेंडिक्स है जिसको यूज न करने की बदौलत वो भी मुकम्मल तौर पर खत्म तो नहीं होती, लेकिन उसका जो फंक्शन है वो मुकम्मल तौर पर यहाँ पे खत्म हो जाता है। नेक्स्ट इज एडाप्टेशंस एंड स्पेशलाइजेशन। तो लमार्क ने बेटा यहाँ पे डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स के अंदर डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स के काम करने को यहाँ पे मुकम्मल तौर पर चेक किया था कि वो ऑर्गन्स जिनको डिफरेंट एरियाज के अंदर यूज करेंगे वो जारी बात है उस ऑर्गन या उस एरिया के अंदर वो ज्यादा यूजफुल होना शुरू हो जाते हैं। यहाँ पे इसने एग्जांपल दिया है कार्निवोर एनिमल्स की। You can easily observe that the carnivore animals having canine teeth to grip their prey. And the next one is law of use and disuse. तो उसी ऊपर वाले की ही ये नेक्स्ट हमारे पास बात आती है कि हमारे इस लमार्क के कहने का मतलब ये था कि वो ऑर्गन जिनको हम ज्यादा यूज करेंगे वो ज्यादा मजबूत हो जाते हैं, और जिनको हम यूज कम करेंगे जारी बात है वो उनका जो यूज जब कम होगा तो वो अपने आप को उनकी जो पावर होगी उनकी जो स्ट्रेंथ होगी वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कम होना स्टार्ट हो जाती है। Dear students, now we are going towards the next theory that is called as Darwinian theory or Darwinism. The name of theory is Theory of Natural Selection. Darwin wrote a book entitled On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection that was published on 24th November 1859. The Charles Darwin proposed different concepts in this book. The main postulates of Darwin theory was number one, geometric increase of body, limited food and space, struggle for existence, variations, natural selection or survival of the fittest, inheritance of useful variations, and speciation. In this slide, you can easily observe the different forms of primates. इसमें हम देख सकते हैं कि सबसे पहले हमारे पास एक ओल्डेस्ट प्राइमेट के तौर पर उभरने वाला जो जानदार था जिसको मॉडर्न प्रोसमियास का नाम दिया जाता है। फिर वहां से न्यू वर्ल्ड मंकी, ओल्ड वर्ल्ड मंकी, गिब्बन्स, गोरिल्लास, चिंपैंजीज और लास्ट में ह्यूमंस डिवेल्प करते हैं। अब यहाँ पे डिफरेंट टाइम पीरियड्स भी देख सकते हैं। फर्स्ट एनिमल जो था वो कब इवॉल्व होता है, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट कब इवॉल्व हो रहा है। अब इन तमाम की यहाँ पे एवोल्यूशन भी देख सकते हैं। और उसके बाद यहाँ पे जो फैमिली है ह्यूमैनिड्स, जिसके अंदर इंसान और चिंपैंजीज, गोरिल्लाज या गिबन्स फॉल करते हैं, वो भी आपको इस डायग्राम में इजीली नजर आ रहे हैं। तो बेसिकली द डार्विन जो था उसका यही कंसेप्ट था कि मुख्तलिफ लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म जिस तरह के माहौल में होते हैं उसी तरह की उनकी बॉडी की शेप्स बनना शुरू होती हैं, और वही उनका जो इन्वायरमेंट होगा उनको वहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करता है, और वो अपने इन्वायरमेंट में अपने आप को सिलेक्ट करवाने के लिए अपनी बॉडी की शेप्स को चेंज भी कर सकते हैं। स्टूडेंट्स, Darwin introduced the mechanism for evolution, in which first of all he introduced the overproduction. All the species have a tendency and potential to increase at a geometric rate. Next one is competition. This is a condition that supports the life are limited. In our current environment, all the living organisms will live and to produce offsprings into their next generation. So after their death, the population remains fairly constant. Next one is variation. Individuals of a population vary greatly from each other in their characters. If we talk about the adaptations, some variations are enable the organism to produce more offsprings than other individuals. If we talk about the natural selection is basically a selection that favors different traits of an organism for its survival in unfavorable conditions. Last one is speciation. Basically, every living organism have a tendency to accumulate some of the characters in their body and may delete or can convert some characters into their new characters and converting their own towards a new species. Another theory that is called as mutation theory of evolution was published in a book entitled Species and Varieties in 1901, written by Dutch botanist Hugo de Vries. In this book, he introduced the word evolution. According to this theory, the evolution is a jerky process where new varieties and species are formed due to the mutation. The next theory is neo-Darwinism, or modern concepts or synthetic theory of evolution. This theory was written in a book by Julian Huxley. The name of book was Modern Synthesis, that was published in 1944. This theory emphasizes on the importance of population as a unit of evolution and their central role of evolution as a most important mechanism of evolution. Different scientists who contributed in that theory were nominated as neo-Darwinisms, in which Huxley, Fisher, Helden, Wright, Ford, Muller, and Dubinstein of America were contributed in that theory. For the contribution of neo-Darwinism, Fisher published his book entitled The Genetical Theory of Natural Selection in 1930s, whereas Haldane published a more popular book that is called as Causes of Evolution in 1932. In his in the appendix, in the long appendix under the entitled A Mathematical Theory of Artificial and Natural Selection, he summarized the series of different published papers, whereas the Wright published a long paper on evolution in Mendelian populations in 1931. Unlike the Fisher and Haldane, Wright lived to publish a fourth volume of treatise at the end of his career in 1968 to 1978. At the end, if we talk about the Dubhansky, he began the classic investigation of evolution in population of fruit flies. When he moved to America from Russia in 1927. There are some important postulates of neo-Darwinism, in which number one is genetic variability. First of all, we are going towards the causes of genetic variability. Number one is mutation. As you already know about the mutation, that is addition, deletion, or transformation of genetic proportion on DNA. Now first we will discuss about the chromosomal aberrations. There are four different types of chromosomal aberration. Number one is deletion of some genes or blocking of them. Number two is duplication of some genes. Number three is translocation, and the fourth one is inversion, in which the some portion of genetic area or genes may invert at 180 angle. Here we are going towards the numeric chromosomal mutations. Number one is euploidy, that is gain or loss of one or more genomes. The next one is aneuploidy, that is the gain or loss of one or more chromosomes. On the other hand, euploidy, that is maybe a haploidy or polyploidy. Next one is aneuploidy, that is also called as hypoploidy or hyperploidal hypoploidy. It may be monosomy, means loss of one chromosome, or nullsomy. Nullisomy means loss of two chromosomes. And the last one is hyperploidy, that is maybe called as trisomy, that is gain of chromosome, or tetrasomy, maybe a gain of two chromosomes. And the next one is gene mutation, that may be called as point mutation. In point mutation, these are invisible in chemical natures of gene and having three different types that I have already discussed in its introduction. Next one are mutagens. Mutagens may be physical, such as radiations or temperature, etc., or chemical mutagens may be nitrous acid, coxine, or nitrogen mustards, etc. After chromosomal aberrations, next one is recombination of genes. Thousands of new combinations of genes are produced due to crossing over. chance arrangement of bivalents at the equator during metaphase 1, and chance fusion of gametes during fertilization. Next one is hybridization. It involves the interbreeding of two genetically different individuals to produce hybrid. There is common example of hybrid that you have already studied in different classes. When a donkey and horse are made to each other, they produce a mule. Fourth one is genetic drift, in which some of the original genes of a population or species may reduce due to epidemics or migrations of some animals. And the last one is reproductive isolation, in which any factor which reduces the chances of interbreeding between the related groups of living organisms is called an isolating mechanism. At the end of this lecture, we will discuss about the individuals those produce more offsprings. नंबर 1, वो वाले ऑर्गेनिज्म जो आमतौर पर अपने एनवायरनमेंट को बेहतर तरीके से अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं. नंबर 2, वो वाले इंडिविजुअल्स जिनके अंदर पॉजिटिव सिलेक्शन प्रेशर आमतौर पर ज्यादा हो एज कंपेयर टू द नेगेटिव सिलेक्शन प्रेशर. नंबर 3, the organisms having better chances of sexual selection due to their color or their body size. And at the end, the organisms whose physical and biological factors overcome to successfully reach the sexual maturity. Here is all about of our today's lecture.